number 2 for today. It's not like I do a double video vlog making day, but today, sure, why not? Just gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get things and stuff done, so that is the plan. And change of lip, change of outfit, to switch it up, to act like, hey, I'm not doing 2 videos in 1 day. But alright. So, anyway, I think we'll just go. I'll just do a brief little intro, but by the way, this is not a brief intro. I always do this. My patterns are ridiculous. Yeah, the thumbnail, I think that was a silent hello, just me being awkward me. But anyway, so the real intro, just to explain the things and stuff, the happenings, the goings-ons of, whatever, of today's video. So, this is like a vlog, a sit down, I'm gonna ramble about my life. This is like an update per se. So, whoa, excuse me. School, work, life in general is what I want to talk about. And sometimes I keep a physical journal. Sometimes I do electronically, like journal electronically, like this, for example, that I'm about to read off to you guys. And so I like to do a little bit of both. I do prefer, however, keeping track of things on my hard drive, on my laptop, just to condense, to scale down, downsize, I guess, the amount of things, the actual things in my life. So it just helps to have a virtual version is, I think, the word I'm looking for. But anyway, so most of what I'm about to say is going to be regarding my new job, which started a week ago as of tomorrow. So tomorrow is the 11th, and it started May the 4th be with you, and the force was with me. It was a good day. I survived, and I survived this 5-day work week, my first week there, and I'm not fired yet. I haven't quit yet, and so far so good. So I'm just gonna like read this off to you. Basically, the school update and the life update, like just broad in general, that is kind of like notes, and then I have more sentences, completed thoughts as we go into the job. So yeah, and my gum's probably gonna get bad by the end of this video. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point, because I don't want the video long and I don't want my gum to get bad because that's gross. But okay. So basically, school update, we can talk a little bit about that. So my experience. So I'm now a junior. This past semester I just became a junior, so very exciting. I am off track with spring semester. However, you're still able to, once you hit 60 credits, which is your halfway mark, once you hit the junior status, then you are able to do what's called fast track, and you can do online classes when you're not tracked for school. So mine is the fall and the winter, but the spring, like right here, right now, I'm able to do an online class or 2, or however many I want to do. I'm low on online class options because I spent my first like 2.5 years worth of college days, I guess, as an online student, and I only have so many options because I'm elementary ed. So there's that. And I kind of want to look at you guys, even though I can't see you guys. And I also want to look at my notes as we get into the work stuff, because it's like, honestly and truly, like 3-4 pages long. I'll more read that off and do little side comments and weird commentary on the side. But for this, the school update, I'll kind of like paraphrase. So, how the first day went? Well, it went. My first semester, which was fall, like my first actual semester, like as a physical college student sitting in a classroom, face-to-face, in-person classes, on-campus classes, it's just where a lot of my anxiety lies, in the classroom, and I want to teach in the classroom. I have found that I personally am a person who doesn't mind teaching students, but I myself don't like being a student. I feel like I'm going to get called on. I feel like all eyes are on me. I just feel that anxiety, that school anxiety, and I always have. Towards the end of my high school career, like my junior, senior years of high school, I was just so confident and on fire, and I was not diagnosed with bipolar yet, but as I look back and reflect on those days, I can totally tell, like, I was on top of the world, and I was manic a lot of the time, and my insomnia was the worst it's ever been, basically. And so school wasn't that scary anymore, but then I had that long break of online, and then I was in a state of psychosis when I tried school, and that didn't work out. And then trying to go back, it's been great, and I've survived now 2 semesters, fall and winter. The past semester was my 2nd semester on campus, but I've done great. Like, not to pat myself on the back or toot my own horn, but just, I think I've been able to do it well, and I'm able to hide and conceal my anxiety from what people tell me. Like my parents, for example, I can be kind of paranoid and self-conscious, whatever, just about how I come across. But I think it's okay. It's just, it's where my anxiety is, just school, like first impressions, introducing myself, and a part of why I live at home right now, and also a part of why we even moved like 8-9 hours away from where we used to live, so I could be here. Well, that's just it, like, it's so that I can be here. There's other things too, like closer to my grandparents, closer to family, and it's just a good place to be. My parents have always wanted to be here, and they want to be in this college town, you know, so I'm not going to be moving out until I graduate. That's a little life update. And so maybe I'll move in with my significant other if it's that time, or maybe I will be married by then. I doubt it. I just don't know where I'm at with that. So before I move on and do something like with my life, I have to be and live at home. Not have to, but I also want to. Like, there's these 3 things, okay? Save money, avoid anxiety, avoid drama. So you're able to save a lot when you're not in the dorms. And also, I'm a person who loves to sleep in my own bed. Like, I just feel anxiety, even like in a hotel room, you know, it's just, it's not like my safe place or my safe space. And avoid drama, like there's girls, there's craziness, there's hormones, there's emotions, there's blowing things up out of proportion, and I did experience a little bit of that when I did try on campus, and I don't want that. And I think I can be involved, of course, like I can go to church with people my age, I can obviously be in the classroom and do on-campus classes, have to do that in order to graduate, but I can do all that, I can be a part of it without having to be in the dorms or be in the middle of it. So I do like being at home. It's kind of harder with the grandkids. My brother's kids especially are over all the time, and then my sister's kids over here and there. Hers are a lot more calm though, and sometimes it's nice to escape on campus when I am on track with the coronavirus and everything. This spring semester, if you're on track, you're forced to do online, you know? And so with me, it doesn't really affect me because I could only do an online class anyway. Hoping and praying that fall semester is remote and online. That would be just great. Then it would force on-campus classes that I have to take to be turned into online courses. And then also there's church, so I just get anxiety, like, honestly, everywhere I go. Like, I leave the house and I get anxiety. It's not like that phobia where you really don't want to leave the house, you know? But sometimes I wonder, not really, but just, and I'm talking so fast, I'm like, I'm so amped up, you know, another video, so exciting. But anyway, church has been stay-at-home church, basically like everything else. You can't be in groups of more than 100 as far as church goes, at least in Idaho, I think was the rule. And the church, the LDS, the Mormon church, you know, which I'm currently a part of for now, it's worldwide. This is their rule, so they're all doing stay at home, and I prefer that, you know. You don't have to put your face on, or at least that's how I feel, you know. You don't have to look your best or presentable. We still wear church clothes as a family, and we still have that church time, but it's not the same. I don't feel that anxiety like I'm going to be called on. That's my worst fear. I hate being a student, and I don't like church. I don't. So the move has been really nice. We've been here for like half a year, since it was about August. Yeah, it was like August of 2019, and here we are in May of the next year. So the move, it's kind of nice to know I never have to see those people again, like the people I was born and raised with. I can only see them if I want to see them, if I make an effort, like if we FaceTime, if we meet up, if we hang out, if we talk on the phone. Like, that's now up to me, that's my choice. I'm not forced to see them, and that can sound kind of mean or harsh, but I need that. Like, I need that as an option, and there's only now, like, a few people who I'm still comfortable with and confident that we're still friends. You know, like, I like them. I genuinely, truly, sincerely enjoy their company, and I know I can always, like, run home and have them there, and they're great people. So that's really fun. I might move back to where I used to live. Still trying to figure that out too. So, like, when I'm in town, I just might happen to run into so-and-so, and that can be a good or bad thing. My mom's friends and the nosy ladies at church, and some of my mom's friends, let's see, I'm friends on Facebook with some of my mom's friends, if that makes sense, or like people who taught me in church, you know, just growing up. But they won't and they can't ask me like who I'm dating or if I'm married yet. They won't ask me about babies. So I won't have to come home to those annoying questions. It's so nice to have a fresh start. Like, technically I could if I did on campus by myself without having to move. That's my fresh start. But then I would come home, then I would face those questions, and it could be really annoying. And then just a little fun fact, this is like the life in general. We just did school, obviously, in the move. So 3 surgeries in 1 month. There was my brother. He had, I think, what was it called? Appendicitis, his appendix. And then my brother's wife, she had surgery as well. And then my dad, it was his knee. He's still recovering, and he's going to go back to work pretty soon. Thankfully, it's all remote. His job is essentially remote. So everyone's okay. They're all recovering, and it's just crazy. Like 3 surgeries in less than a month. Like 3 weeks, 3 surgeries. Crazy. 2 were planned, and then my brother, obviously, he has no control over his appendix. But now 1, 2, 3, maybe there's just 3 pages of, yeah, there's like, can I count? 1, 2, okay, we're going to see where I'm at. And let's hope and pray. Don't want to shake the table. Okay, perfect. We're at 12 minutes. Probably not perfect for you. You're probably like moaning and groaning, or you probably left by now. But, so, I'm just going to read this, side comments, random commentary, if and when I feel. So, it seemed like the only thing that was not happening was my job. My new job. So, I'm customer support for First American, which is a title company where you organize files, documents, you print and scan things, you do that a bunch, you put mail together and blah blah blah. So that's just to explain what the job is, tell the story of how I got the job, how it came to be. So basically, long story short, this was about a month ago. This Friday will have made it a month, I want to say. So on a Wednesday, my parents, they meet who is now my manager, and fun fact, well, this is like creepy. If you know where I live, then you're going to know where he lives. He lives in my neighborhood, that's all I'm going to say, and we had not met him until this day, where I was stuck, cooped up in the house doing my finals and school things and stuff, and trying to finish this semester. The deadline was that Wednesday, the day that my parents were doing sods, so thankfully I got out of that boring job, you know, like putting in grass and everything, laying down grass. So it was my brother, and then my parents, my mom and my dad. And then this neighbor comes and says hi. He basically offers my brother a job right there. And then my brother got 2 other job offers basically that same day. And he chose Ace Hardware. And then I got First American. I hope I didn't say Free American. I said First American, right? I did say Free American once when I was explaining it to someone. That was highly embarrassing. I should know what I'm even doing. But anyway, so he offers the job to my brother. Then my brother and mom, they tell me later that night about the job, what it is, how introverted it is, and how it would be a perfect fit for me since my anxiety is really, really bad this time of year especially. It's a perfect time for me to work. I'm off track. Even though I got 1 online class, I'm still not really doing school. And so anyway, 2 days later, you fast forward to Friday, after I go to his house, the manager's house, you know, to go officially introduce myself after trying to call him. I think it was Thursday night, if not Wednesday night. No, it was Thursday night. The next night. Oh my gosh. Just trying to introduce myself, trying to call. Didn't work out. He's a busy person, and he's just very invested in his family and his job, and I really respect that. So anyway, finally, that Friday, so 2 days after I hear about the job, that Friday, I called him on the phone. I had sent a text the Thursday before, just like explaining, oh hey, I'm Emily, you offered my brother the job, he actually chose ACE, and I'm very interested in the job, and I told him a little bit about myself in a text, and then told him more on the phone. He had scheduled basically like an interview, and it was on the phone, and I have phone anxiety. I didn't stutter too bad, I don't think I did anyway, and I hope he doesn't think I did too bad, but, and I even brought that up, I was like, I'm not sure if this is going to be a type of job where you're on the phone quite a bit. I do have a speech impediment, it's very slight, but I'm just not sure how I would do on the phone, like how well I could do. And he said that's not a problem, like there's no customer interaction. It's not so much customer service, it's more like customer support. And so, anyway, I get the job on the phone. Is this one yo or this one? Whatever. Which one's the phone? Put you down. So the phone. I get the job on the phone. I did not meet him, and I got the job on the phone. So I'm going to pat myself on the back and toot my own horn again. But that was insane, and that's a big compliment to me, and that's like a mood booster, and that really helps me with my flattened, like non-existent, well, this too, no, so weird to say, ego, self-esteem. So that was just amazing and a huge blessing. And I would say hashtag blessed, but that's very corny and cheesy. But he basically said, your family seems like great people, I just met them, and I think that you would be great. So he heard my squeaky phone voice, and he decided to hire me in less than a half hour after I called him up. Like, that's insane. So that was really cool. Let's see. Yeah, so I've only seen my manager once. I've only seen him one single time, which is very interesting, just because he's so busy. I mean, I've seen him in his yard, like, as I pass by, not creepy staring, but just, like, out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, oh, hey. You know, and I'll sometimes wave, but he, like, never sees me. He's always so engrossed in what he's doing. You know, like, yard work and stuff, or he just hates me and he's planning on firing me. Anyway, so, yeah. I've only seen him one time. I did get a tour. That was before I got the job. That was the Monday following the phone call, so just a few days after. So find out Wednesday. Phone call and hiring date the next Wednesday, or that Friday, and then a few days later, Monday, I'm across town where the place of work is, and then bam, I get a tour. So, cool tour of the place, tour of the cool place. So, lives only, let's see, yeah, lives only a few doors down, which is interesting. So now I'm just gonna, like, ramble, and some of these thoughts go together, some of these sentences, areas go together, but some don't, so it might kind of be jumbled. So this is, like, from my notes that will be transferred or turned into a journal, excuse me, journal entry. So if I stutter, I stutter. The stutter is basically my only fear in life, and that's sad to me. I'm just worried that my fear of the stutter, of my stutter, it will make me say stupid, dumb things and stuff. And you don't say stupid and dumb back to back because that sounds stupid and dumb. But, so if I make a mistake, it's okay. And that just really applies to my job. Like, that's the thing that I think of first thing in the morning, and right as soon as my head hits the pillow and I'm about to fall asleep. Basically, it's always that I'm gonna stammer, stutter, that my speech impediment will blow up and flare up, and it's just embarrassing, and it makes me really mad at myself. But I'm just glad I'm not going to be talking on the phone, like, at all. And it is harder to meet people, and I've become a lot more introverted just as I've grown older, and I think the stutter can be a part of that. I'm not sure if that's really that affected, but anyway. So, as my brother would say, I was pooping my pants on the first day, and he started his job, like, that Friday after he got the job. Like, I think it was that Friday or that Saturday after he was offered the job. Like, the day of the next day, he was already starting. So he was also pooping his pants about his job. It's crazy that we got jobs during the coronavirus. That's crazy. Everybody's out of work, lost their jobs, gone remote, and my brother works at ACE, and I work across town. It's crazy. So, yeah, I just freak out a little bit. Anxiety's fun, huh? So accomplished and purpose, that's how work is. That's how a new job is. You have a new purpose. You just feel like you're on fire. Well, like in more ways than one, you might feel stressed and it's fuzzy. You might feel stressed, like you run with your head chopped off, or you might actually enjoy it, and not a lot of people do. I heard that a lot of Americans, they just don't like their jobs, and that's really, really, really sad to me. And I think a job is a job, like it's called that for a reason, but I think it can be a good thing. Okay. That was my grandma. So I don't know why I made that face. So yeah, work, it seems like a very different crowd. Like it's more liberal, blunt people, which I really don't mind. It's just definitely something I'm going to get used to. Like I haven't really seen that since high school. I go to a conservative college. I live in a very conservative town. I've just grown up with very conservative people, individuals, humans. And so, I'm just doing a video. I'm doing a video. I'm almost done. Okay. Sorry. So, like, there's a chick with blue hair, and there is a dress code. It's just chill, or they don't care, or I don't know. So she is engaged to a girl. I have to say that very slowly. That's just not something that I'm used to hearing. And I'm not against it at all. It's just I've never been around that before. And then jumping to a new topic. So it's kind of stressful to be a beginner. Work anxiety is real and very there. But you just have to tell yourself, like, you don't have to know everything about everything. Like, anywhere you go, or in the job, work field, job place, work field. Is that how you say it? So I do want to be a perfectionist at this job, and I don't want to make mistakes. Everybody does there, though. Some things are sent back to us in mail and packages, and that's okay. But I also have to know that it's okay if I need help. These people are there to help me, and they're pretty nice about it too. And then something else that's really interesting, and my family has talked about this. So you don't always want to think about work. It's not good for you. It's not good for the people you live with. You want to turn it off. You want to enjoy the time you have off. You want to leave it at work. You don't want to bring work home. And I know with my personal experience, and I would do this all the time with school, like growing up, you know, and I do this with the job too. But I'll be filled with dread. I'll have that moment of like, whenever I look at the clock to see that in like 12 hours I'll be on the road. Like, okay, like right now I'll be basically up right now because I'm filming this at 3:30, and I'll be up at 3:45 a.m. So that's fun. And that's crazy to me, you know? So I'm excited to go back, like tomorrow, for example. Today's Sunday, tomorrow's Monday, tomorrow's the rest of the week. But then if I think about it too long, it's like, uh-oh, I really don't like the idea of that. And then like after the shift, I'll be like, oh, that was so much fun. And then on the way home, I'll be like, I think I changed my mind. Like, I don't know if I want to go back. Like, this is so nice. So this job has me going to bed at around 9 p.m. and then it's got me up around 3:45 a.m. 9 p.m. 3:45 a.m. If I'm saying that right. And then I'm leaving just before 5, and then there's a half-hour commute just in time for my shift at 5:30 a.m. And I have a friend who has got this shift as well, so that's interesting. It totally beats the 2:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. time. That's a unique shift, and I don't like the idea of that. I could not do that, especially with the commute. I'm not a night person. I'm a morning person. I succeed and excel in the morning, and as the day goes on, I'm just dead. I'm toast. I'm burnt out. So it's amazing that the body knows and gets used to it. Like, hey, it's time for early bed. And last night I was bad. I was in bed at like 12. But I've been trying to be pretty good about it. The latest I've gone to bed on a like work night, it was like 10 or 11, and I felt bad about that, and I was really tired the next day, but it's okay. So I like that it starts early. It lets me have the rest of the day. I learned a lot from my first day, and I like the job. I'm not terrified to go into work anymore, though I do feel some amount of anxiety still, and I probably always will. Just sometimes feel kind of scared. I'm still excited to go, though, of course. I want to do a good job at this job, like I said. Good job at this job. My stomach. shouldn't feel like an idiot at work. The people are pretty nice, helpful and understanding, and they're willing and wanting to help. And that's just my worst fear. Like, there's the stutter, and then there's me wanting to do a good job and not screw up. So it's just a lot of new information thrown at you, and you always feel that with a new job or circumstance in your life. You're thrown into a situation and it's new and fresh and you're just not used to it, and you have to get used to it. So yeah, I just don't want to suck at this job, but I can't think like that. I am not afraid to ask for help, but I just don't like asking for help. That's one of my really big weaknesses. All my paychecks are going to be going to a chiropractor. I sit like all the time. Like, you look at the clock and it's 8:30, and then 2.5 hours go by, and you see the clock, and then you feel your back, and then you are like, whoa, there's hair. That's not the whoa. The whoa is my back hurts real bad. And then you gotta do the commute. Half hour there, half hour back home. And it's like, that's a lot of car time. You sit and your back, and I got a bad back. Like, the depression doesn't help either, because depression, you can feel it in your back. Like, that's not a side effect, but it can be a trait of it. So, and I say that as a joke, like, all my paychecks are gonna go to a chiropractor. But yeah, I can see why the pay is like $10, which is pretty nice for Idaho. It's just tedious work. There's always something to do. So thank goodness for breaks. We technically have 4 of them. You only count your lunch break, which is a half hour. Then the other 2 you get a half hour split into like before and after your lunch, which is really nice. So thank goodness for breaks. It's annoying how some people get so much, like they get paid so much for not doing a thing. And this is a total other rant. But it's like NBA singers, for example, like people in the NBA, whatever, basketball players, is that what it's called? Anyway, just like, I'm doing something productive and important. Not that they aren't, but their stuff is for fun. Like, it's a hobby, but it's not really anything impacting anyone sincerely and truly and honestly. Like, medical, educational, I want to teach first grade. My sister was a nurse. She's having a break from that right now. It's big stuff like that. Stuff that really counts, that changes lives, that inspires, that motivates, that people can admire. You know, it's annoying. But I'm grateful for this job, that I even have it at all, you know. So, I'm all like butthurt about this. Oops. So my brother, he like only talks about work sometimes. I don't, because I don't want my parents to make me quit. Like, just, it's so unique there, and it's such a different crowd, you know? And something that I thought about, is this a bad time for me to get a job or have a job? Like depression, seasonal depression, sad, major depression, just those things that I go through here in the spring when they just flare up, blow up, get so bad. But I think it will be a good thing for me, actually. I think it can really help to distract me. It's a lot of time where I can have my earbuds in, and that was how the job was basically described. Like, it's just a chill environment. You do your work, you got your earbuds in, and it's just really chill people, you know? So I think because of that, because it's so introverted and I'm just away from home and away from my life, and I like have a new life through work, I think that can help. So do you have to like your coworkers? That's a good question. And by the way, the coronavirus does not exist in this workplace, which is very interesting. I just think that's so hilarious. You know, like, they clean things down, they wipe things down. People have the option right now to stay home because of COVID. Like, they don't have time off, but they're just not going to work right now, I guess is what you would call it. But, I mean, I'm fine with it. That's just my personal opinion, you know. So 2 funny stories, or at least kind of funny stories. I'll just read this off because it's detailed and I'm taking too long. So there's the shoe lady, and then the next day there's this skinny lady, and I'll tell you why I'm calling them that. So the shoe lady, I'm wearing my cute pink flats, kind of like Vans, shoe style, but pink and with crochet detailing, and this lady with terribly dyed hair, with terrible roots, and who dresses like a hobo and legit smells like weed, asks me where they're from, and I lie and say TJ Maxx because if I said a store in the mall, she would probably be rude. And then I thought to myself, and then she goes, I